So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining our Lunch and Learn 30-minute session today. This is all about increasing immersive learning with ThingLink. My name is David Serna, and I'm an Instructional Technology Specialist here on the C.A.L team. I'm also joined by Dr. Schweitzer and Dr. Harris, who will introduce themselves in just a moment and also talk about how they use ThingLink in their courses. So let's begin. So I briefly wanted to go over what our goal is and also some of the sources or resources on your Zoom toolbar that you can utilize today. So first, we really want you to start using ThingLink to develop dynamic visual experiences to really increase student learning engagement and help them learn better. When we're talking about immersive learning, right, using technology to really increase those outcomes and increase that engagement that they have in your course. Now let's go over some of those tools on your toolbar. Feel free throughout if you'd like to unmute or start your video, you can click on those two options right there below. And if you'd like to show captions, I have enabled the captions for our meeting today. Just click on show captions and that'll transcribe what I'm saying live. And last but not least, I love reactions. You can show me some love. Click on that reaction button. You can go ahead and give me a thumbs up. You can clap your hands, give me that heart. If you'd like to change the skin tone, I get this question too. Click on those three dots. And then in the lower right corner, you'll see that thumbs up icon. Click on that. And that is how you can change your skin tone on Zoom. Excellent. So let's go over what our agenda is for our meeting today. First, we'll go over what is ThingLink and what's the value of using it, right? I really want you to be intentional of why do I want to use this in my course? And I'll give you some examples of how that can help improve your course content. We'll do a faculty spotlight with Dr. Schweitzer and Dr. Harris. And then I'll talk about getting started with ThingLink and I'll walk you through in real time how you can create one very quickly and where you can put it in your course. And then we'll talk about next steps and Q&A. So let's get started. So first in the chat box, or you can unmute, have you used ThingLink before? Let me know in that chat box. Or have you heard about it? Right. Thank you, Dr. Harris. Pat, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Schweitzer. Julian used it once or twice. Yeah. Heard about it from y'all. You got it. Dr. Cruz, I'm so glad you're on the call, right? Because I do want to go over what is the value of ThingLink, and also it doesn't take too much time to learn or integrate. I always want to introduce tools for our faculty that, don't take too much time, are not overwhelming, but they add a lot of value, right, in your course. So let's go over what it is. So when we talk about immersive learning, you're really elevating images from like a static image to something that's clickable and interactive. So you can add videos to this image. You can add 360 media to the image, or even 3D models with those clickable hotspots. And as you can see in this example, there are some clickable hotspots that are customizable with text. You can add web links, so let's say to an article, and I'll show you that later. Images, video, and also embedded web tools. And one of the great reasons why I like ThingLink is I always think about how do we increase our accessibility here on campus with the tools that we use. ThingLink already has an integrated immersive reader already built in with text tags. You can do translation, readability tools. So this is great for all of your students and to really increase that inclusive learning environment. So let's go over an example of how I originally started using ThingLink. As you can see, there's a static image of our center floor on the 6th floor of building 71. I can add some little clickable hotspots here. So if I click on like the star, tells you about the learning pods. I also put a link for making reservations for the learning pods right there. So if a student clicks on that, it'll take them to that website. I can also link multiple ThingLinks together. So for example, if you have never been to one of our HyFlex spaces, I took a 360 image, right, which you can also view in VR, but it has these clickable hotspots. I can also click back on the home button and take you to our learning room. And same thing, it'll link to that other ThingLink that I created with those clickable hotspots right here. So it's a really nice way to just increase engagement with an image, make it clickable, and add those links, just like I did with the learning pods. So let's look at this example. What do you notice about this Blackboard Ultra text I have here? Could it be improved?
Yeah, there's a lot of text, and it's kind of not as entertaining or as colorful as some people might like to see. Like in a textbook, you might have an image or so that encourages a little bit of thinking.
Yeah, very passive, right? What are some things we can add here? Yeah, I see Pat, too much text, hard to read. Julian, it's boring, right? Very passive, right? So this is from our TA course that Julian and I helped develop together. And I was thinking, how can I take some of this information and summarize it and make it more interactive and visually more appealing? So here's an example of what I did, right? So I was able to create a thing link that says, how do I know if the TA role is for me, with 5 clickable hotspots right here. So when a student clicks on that, it takes that same information that I had before, summarizes it, makes it really clean, very visually appealing. And as you can see here, if a student clicks on this icon for accessibility, that'll also help to open up that accessibility tool or that reader right there. So I'll go over this in just a moment in real time of how to create this very quickly. So before we start with that, I do want to spotlight Dr. Schweitzer and Dr. Harris. So Dr. Harris, if you don't mind introducing yourself, and then I'll have Dr. Schweitzer introduce himself as well.
Yes, certainly. Yeah, how's everybody doing? Yeah, I'm Tim Harris. I've been here now for gosh, almost 4 years now. 4 years now, and I teach. Of course, my boss, Dr. Cruz, is on the line here, and I teach discovery technology as well as capstone. And as far as using ThingLink, I mean, David, I mean, you introduced me to something great there because now I've been using it in the midst of designing the capstone course, and also since I'm teaching discovery technology, I've actually started designing that as well, using that as far as with the announcements and also with several of the other things there. So it makes it a lot easier to, and David, I'll use your language to break up the text.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Definitely.
it has made it a heck of a lot easier there. And especially, I use it to kind of interact with Canva as well. So it makes things a lot more graphic, a lot more interactive, a lot more easier to visualize and use.
Thank you so much. And Dr. Schweitzer.
Yes, Dr. Brandon Schweitzer. I teach accounting courses at the community college. I've been with UDC since 2013, so about 10 years now. And I was introduced to ThingLink by the C.A.L team as I was developing and redeveloping courses for Quality Matters for the certification process, and learning about this exciting tool. I was able to jazz up my course, if you will, to make the course a little bit more interactive. When students come to an accounting course, they are not always that excited to learn accounting because of its nature. You know, there's a lot of quantitative courses are relatively challenging for students because of their pre-notion of what they think a quantitative course is like. And so I use ThingLink to break up the text, as my colleague Tim alluded to, and it's been a really exciting way to get students more engaged in the learning process. So they click on those awesome tabs, and it brings up some new text. And it's been a very valuable component to the course by adding that piece of interactive learning. And the one thing I love the most about ThingLink, and I'm sure David will show us relatively soon, is the fact that it has integrated artificial intelligence. And so it saves a lot of time from having to develop a ThingLink from a faculty perspective. You can literally create a ThingLink with a matter of minutes. And so to me, that was one of the best value added components I've seen with this learning resource. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Schweitzer and Dr. Harris. And I know Julian is also on the call. So Julian, if you can kind of speak briefly about, quality matters and also why we are starting to use ThingLink in our courses. Thank you, Julian.
Absolutely. Thank you, David, for having me. So I think ThingLink brings a good piece of student engagement to our courses, especially when we talk about quality matters. Quality matters asks that courses use a variety of tools, instructional tools that support student learning. And we think that ThingLink is a great tool to kind of enhance presentations, to be able to chunk up information and provide it in a way that's engaging for students. And it also aligns to our UDC standards of engagement, where we want to create authentic learning experiences and design presentations that are adapted to our diverse learning community and population.
Yeah, excellent. Well said. And I kind of want to segue into the second question here on the screen for both Dr. Harris and Dr. Schweitzer. You know, I always think about what's the buy-in that I can get from faculty for this. So what's a kind of valuable piece of advice that you can give to faculty on getting started with ThingLink? Dr. Harris, if you want to start.
Ah,
Yeah.
I would say definitely be patient with the process. Spend a lot of time with it. I mean, I tell you, I spend quite a bit of time playing around with the design, and probably for like the first couple of weeks, for example, with Discovery Technology, I actually got some feedback from students. Hey, you might want to change this, change that. I'm like, ooh, okay. And once I got that feedback and started changing things around, I mean, I got huge kudos from students there. So definitely be patient with it and trust it and use it. I mean, it's a great tool, and it'll pay dividends for you. I mean, because once you get started and once you set something up, and it's easy, like you can use what you've started as a template for the rest of your weeks, for example.
Excellent. I like that.
Yeah, you
You
put in
know
the
what?
hard work early, and then the rest of it will come very quick after that.
Yep. And like Dr. Harris says, it's like this tool, you can continue to kind of curate it more, make it more effective. And I like that Dr. Harris talked about, his students' feedback, right? So that can really play into, how can I design a better ThingLink or a more effective one? And just for everyone on this call, your students can also use ThingLink to create their own projects or their own visuals. And they already have access to this. So if you do need help with that, just let me know, right? I'll give my email at the very end. But yeah, Dr. Schweitzer, if you want to talk about what's a valuable piece of advice you can give to faculty on getting started.
Yeah, first and foremost, it's easy to get started. Once you have your account set up, it's very simple to get started. I would take your time exploring the various features. I just learned a couple new things from David. I had no idea about the 360-degree photo opportunity to be able to do something like that. That's really cool. So there's a lot of tools and features within this learning tool to really explore, and there's a lot of great opportunity to be more engaging with your students, and by just trial and error and being able to really explore and learn more about the tool, I think will be very helpful for your course design and to really improve your courses.
Yeah, and especially for Quality Matters, getting that Quality Matters certification, right? So perfect. So Dr. Schweitzer, Dr. Harris, I do want to thank you for your time. Feel free to stick around if you would like, but really your time and your just suggestions are invaluable, especially to other faculty. And I know we all work together over the summer to kind of think about how can we make your course content even more dynamic, right? And I hope that with ThingLink it did happen, right? And you can continue to use that in your courses. Right? So thank you so much for joining. So let's go over how to access ThingLink first. And ThingLink is an app that we already have our license to here at UDC. So you can log in with your UDC account, your email, and your password. ThingLink is available on the computer, both PC and Mac, also iPads and tablets, as well as your smartphone. If you want to download the ThingLink app on your phone, you can also annotate images on the go. Let's say I take an image or a picture of a museum that I'm at. I can go ahead and start annotating that image even from my phone, and I can share that with my students in my Blackboard course. So I have a quick video about how to access ThingLink, and then I'll go over the main way that I access ThingLink, which is through the web. So let's just watch this brief video. To log into ThingLink, you can go to the ThingLink website at thinglink.com. Click on Login in the upper right corner. Next, choose the Microsoft Single Sign-On option right here. And now enter your UDC information. This will take you into the UDC sign-on page. I'll go ahead and click on yes. And now I am logged into our ThingLink account with UDC. Second, you can log into ThingLink using the Books and Tools feature on Blackboard Ultra. On the left-hand side of your course, click on Books and Tools and view Course and Institution Tools. On the right-hand side, scroll down, and you should see ThingLink towards the bottom. Click on the plus sign. If you do not see ThingLink here, click on Browse All Course Tools to find ThingLink. Once I click on the plus sign, I'm able to log into ThingLink from within Blackboard. I can also make this visible to students by clicking right here, and now students can also access it through this link. On the phone app, you can click on the ThingLink app and continue with Microsoft. That will take you to the single sign-on page. Once you click on that and sign in, you will now access your UDC ThingLink account. So just to reiterate, the easiest way that I find that I can use ThingLink is just go to thinglink.com. And then when you click on that login in the upper right corner, ignore this part where it says email and password, and you want to click on that Microsoft single sign-on icon. And then you'll just continue as usual, like you do with going to my UDC, put your UDC email and password, and then that'll go ahead and connect our license. Your students can do the same thing that I just walked through here. Just to remind you, this session is recorded, so you are more than welcome to share this with your students as well. Now I want to do a live walkthrough of creating my first ThingLink and then integrating that into Blackboard. I'll go over some of the privacy settings that you have to change. It's very simple. And then also how you embed this in your course. So let me go ahead and share my screen, my browser. And first, let's go to my Blackboard content page, right? So I made a sample content page about the effects of pollution on our environment and health. If you can see right here, you can scroll down. I did make them into bullet points about socioeconomic, health, and environmental effects. But this is a perfect opportunity for me as a professor. Let's add a ThingLink here to summarize this information and add a visual. And again, if I want to increase accessibility for my students, they can use that built-in accessibility reader also for ThingLink. So I'll show you all of this in real time. So let's go to ThingLink. I've logged in right here. So here's my main homepage for ThingLink. And in the upper right corner, I want to click on Create. So I'll go ahead and click that. And what I'll do today for this demo is create a clickable image, just like what Dr. Harris and Dr. Schweitzer were talking about. So I'll click on the second icon, which says image here. Now, a great thing, you can connect your Google Drive, but we are a OneDrive campus, so you can also import items from your Microsoft OneDrive right there. If you use Canva, you can also design or import items from Canva. But what I'll be showing you today is this icon right here, which is called Unsplash. So ThingLink is great because they already integrated Unsplash, which are copyright-free images that you can use for your course. So if I click on that, and remember, my topic is pollution. So I'll just go ahead and enter that and search. And again, this is already built into ThingLink. You don't have to copy and paste anything. So right here, let's choose maybe this image. So I'll click on that and press continue. And I'll press continue one more time. So you see right here, I have that image from Unsplash that I just found in just a few seconds. So I'll just press continue. Now what you'll see here is the page of ThingLink where you can start adding those tags. And just like Dr. Schweitzer was talking about, it has AI technology already built in. This is a great time saver for you to quickly make a ThingLink. So I'm going to go back to my document right here. And the main question that I want to tell my students about is, what are some of the environmental, health, and socioeconomic effects of pollution, right? And I want to make this a ThingLink. So just to save time, I'm just going to copy this. And I'm going to go back to my ThingLink right here. In the middle, it says need help creating your first tags. I do need help and I want to save time. So I'll click on continue. And you can go ahead and type in something, but I already have my question set up in Blackboard. So I'm just going to paste that. What are the environmental, health, and socioeconomic effects of pollution? And I'll press continue. So in just a matter of a minute or two, this will create my first 5 tags on ThingLink. So let's see how fast that is. There you go. So I'll go ahead and start clicking on the tags. Environmental effects of pollution. Pollution can lead to soil contamination. I have the second one, socioeconomic effects of pollution. air pollution effects on human health, health effects of pollution, and effects of water pollution, right? So it did that quite well. It created 5 first tags for me. I can also edit these tags. So I have this article from Forbes, air pollution more dangerous than previously understood. Here are the biggest health risks and how to reduce it. I'm just going to copy that because I want my students to also read this article. And let's go to this one, air pollution effects. And on the left side, you'll see everything that you can do to change this individual tag. So I'm going to add a link to that article. And I'll put air pollution article, right? So it just creates that button right here that my students can press to go to that article. Let's say I also want to add an additional photo on this. So right here where it says media files, I can go ahead and click on the magnifying glass. And let's find another one about air pollution. Okay, there you go. Let's look at this one. Right, so I have this air pollution photo. I have a quick title and blurb about air pollution. And I also added that article link right away. A great thing too is that if you want to record your own voiceover, you can do that. But remember the built-in immersive reader is already there as well. So let me show you an example of that. So if I click on this icon, that'll open up the immersive reader. Let's just quickly listen.
Air pollution effects on human health. Air pollution affects human health in various ways such as respiratory problems, cardiovascular problems, and even neurological problems.
And if I pause here, there are some text preferences. This is all Microsoft Immersive Reader based. So I can change the text, I can change the theme. I can also put parts of speech like nouns or verbs. This is great for your students that are learning English. And line focus, I can have that on. So it just focuses on one line at a time. So let me just change the color real quick. So you can see how this looks like.
Problems. Some people who suffer from air pollution also complain of dizziness, headaches, and irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat.
So I'll just pause here and let's go back to the ThingLink. I'll just exit out of here. So there you go. So you have the different tags. Here's the tag that I just modified just a little bit and added that article. If I click on that, it'll open up that article link right there, right? So if your students are doing a project where you want them to kind of take different resources and put them on one page or one image, this is a great way to do that. There are other things you can do here. You can change the icons. There are different icons that are here. And you can also change the layout of these individual hotspots. So let's say, for example, I wanted to have this one instead. All right, so you see how that changes the look of that. And I'll just exit out of here and I'll press done. So just within a few minutes, I have my first ThingLink with those 5 tags assisted with that AI technology. Now let's talk about sharing this within Blackboard. So a couple things you need to do. Click on this eye icon. And it says my organization, which is great if someone is signed in to the ThingLink account, but let's make this public so anyone can access this. So let me click on public and click on save. That's it. So the only privacy settings you have to change are click on the eye and then public right there. Now, the second thing I want to do is I want to share this within Blackboard. So let me click on share and then embed on website. So I'll click on that. It'll give you this HTML code, which I can directly copy and paste into Blackboard. So let me copy that. Exit out of here. Let's go back to my Blackboard page. So I have that effects of pollution on our environment and health. I have that question, what are some of the environmental health and socioeconomic effects of pollution? Let's add my ThingLink. I'll click on the plus sign and you want to add HTML right there. And I'll just paste it. And I'll click on save. So there you go. Right away, what happened is my ThingLink is embedded into my Blackboard course. My students can click on this. They can open up the article that I want them to read. They can also click on the immersive reader, which will open up that immersive reader tool, just like what I showed you. And now I can just go ahead and just delete this. I don't need this part anymore. And there you go. So now my page is a little bit of context before and after, and then a ThingLink that summarizes all that information. So just in a few minutes, I made that great looking ThingLink. Your students can also make their own ThingLinks, and when they give you the link, you can also embed that into your course as well if you want to have a page of your student ThingLinks. Any quick questions about this?
Oh no, easy peasy.
Easy peasy, right? I love that. So let's just go over some of the things I told you about the privacy and the embed settings. So first, remember when you are sharing your private or sharing your ThingLink, click on that eye icon in the upper right corner and choose public, just like I did right here. Once that's public, you're able to easily share that with people inside or outside of the university. And once I want to share this in my Blackboard course, I click on that share button in the upper right corner, and I will choose embed on website, which is that first option. Then it'll give you an option to copy that code on Blackboard. I'll just click on copy.
How you doing? Are you doing all right?
Yeah, and then once I click on copy, I can go to my Blackboard course and my document, and then select add HTML, copy code, and select save. And there you go, right? So I have that HTML copied into my course. Right? Dr. Chinta, question?
Yeah, I have a quick question.
Yeah, of course.
You showed how to embed the ThingLink into a Blackboard course.
Yep.
Can you show how I can embed that into a PowerPoint presentation file? And the PowerPoint presentation is not within a course, but it's going to be maybe for a departmental meeting or at a conference, nothing to do with Blackboard. But I want to embed that into a PowerPoint, and that should show everything that you have just done.
Yeah, great question. So what I'll do is, that's a great question. I'll go ahead and contact you directly. For anyone else on the call that wants to know about it, there is a PowerPoint add-on. So you have to search in PowerPoint for add-ons and then click on the ThingLink one. But I'll walk you through this in real time. We can meet. But yeah, you can embed ThingLinks into a PowerPoint like I did earlier. So with this one, for example, I'll just briefly show again. So this is the map. I embedded this within the PowerPoint so I can show it in real time, just like this. And I did that with the ThingLink PowerPoint add-in. But before we go, I just wanted to briefly talk about, based on this short lunch and learn, how will you start using ThingLink? And Dr. Harris also put some screenshots in the chat box if you want to check those out of how he put this in his course, right? Especially with displaying his module learning objectives, which is great. And Dr. Chinta, thinking about this webinar, would you use ThingLink and how would you use it?
No, I'm not teaching now, but I use I see its use in PowerPoint presentations to make them more in-depth.
Yep.
Meaning there's a point that needs to be stressed. So there's a layering of information. So one slide, if I put all that on one slide, it'll be too busy for the audience.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think some of the interesting ways I've seen ThingLink being used are kind of like clickable resumes or kind of a quick portfolio for students, for example. So let's say they have a picture of themselves with like some quick bullet points, but when you click on individual parts, let's say they're an artist, you click on this, it'll take a link to some of their artwork or maybe a YouTube video that they have. So it can make it really dynamic in the way that we present ourselves, right, for a class or for an interview. Yeah, Dr. Cruz, I'm going to revise my Exploring the City assignment and have students use ThingLink. I can also see this being used for an alternative to a reading assignment. Great. Yeah. And I know we've had our Violence Prevention and Wellness Initiative students. That's our gun violence project here on the UDC campus. They've taken pictures of different crime areas in the city, and they were able to annotate those pictures and share them with others, right? So that's a great use case for using ThingLink as well, right? That clickable image. So look at that. That was a quick 30 minutes. I love using ThingLink, and there are so many more applications for it, especially if you want to increase immersive learning. That includes using ThingLink 360, using it in VR, also threading ThingLinks together like a virtual tour. So many great use cases, but I hope with ours today, we talked about how we can use it in Blackboard to kind of break up that text and add that visual element. So if you do want to meet up with me, my name again is David Serna. You can email me at david.serna@udc.edu, so Dr. Shinta, and we can work together on how do we integrate this in PowerPoints, for example. Any questions before we say goodbye? But thank you again, everyone. I hope you're enjoying this great weather. I know it's a little bit cold, but I like the fall. But I hope that you start using ThingLink soon. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at any time, right? So have a great day, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
you. Thank you.